So in all, I wouldn't say my life here has been bad. It has been awesome. And I like the experience so far. To be able to immerse myself in a different culture altogether, learn a language, be in the position that I find myself to be. I'll forever be grateful to China for the opportunity to live in this country for 10 years. I mean, there has been the highs and the lows, but in all, I would say like, it's been great. All Shanghai people were working tirelessly to develop this street, to develop this country to this point for me to live here. I mean, I want to say kudos to every soul that worked to develop China to this point. So if you're a Muslim coming to China, you don't have to worry. There's a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters here that sell halal food, so you don't have to worry. Welcome back again to another episode of the Black Man Experience coming from China. Today, I'm on the street of Shanghai, around People's Square, and I want to take you guys around and show you Shanghai, the average life of Chinese people in Shanghai. This is the episode 2 of this series of my Shanghai vlog. I'm going to walk around from here at People's Square all the way to the Ban area. So stick around. This is going to be a long video. I'll show you the scenery, I'll show you the buildings of Shanghai, the old and the new, and the average life of Chinese people in the city of Shanghai. So stick around, watch this video. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like my video, share. My name is King Kwesi from Ghana. I live in China. I've been here for 10 years and I share my daily experiences as a black man, an African living in China. So stick around, subscribe, like, and let's grow the channel together. I don't know this building, but yeah, I see some old folks here. Some of them reading the newspaper, playing on their phones, conversing. I don't know what's happening over here. These are old folks. So it's a beautiful day here. Saturday, 2:52 exactly. Ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. Ni hao. Yeah, so I don't know what is happening here, but a lot of old folks gather here in groups conversing. I don't know what they are talking about. I don't have to inquire because it's not my business. I'm just here vlogging my experience. So People's Square is one of the busy places in the city of Shanghai. And one thing I love about Shanghai is the fact that the city developers has incorporated the building of trees in the city. Shanghai is a metropolitan city, but there are a lot of trees, a lot of greenery, a lot of parks in the city. That gives a blend of the nature and modernity. And that's one thing I love about Shanghai. So I'm gonna walk through these streets all the way to the Band. Let me zoom to show you the iconic building of Shanghai. Can you see that? That's the iconic building of Shanghai. So I'm gonna walk all the way from this side, People's Square, to the Band. So stick around, let's go. I'm in the middle of the road doing this vlog. It sounds a bit scary. One thing I like about Shanghai is the convenience in China. Like I said, convenience, there are so many means of transport to get around. Ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. There are so many means of transport to get around. You can use the subway, you can have an e-bike, you can use the Didi, taxis, you can use the bus system, you can scan and ride e-bikes around. So, I mean, if you are coming to Shanghai, the most important thing you should do as a foreigner coming to Shanghai for tourist purposes is to make sure your phone is always connected to an internet and have WeChat. WeChat is very important. You can't be in China without having WeChat because everything is done mostly on our phones to make payments. If you don't have a bank card, your Chinese bank card connected to your phone, it's quite difficult to navigate around here in China because China as a country is almost like a cashless society. So make sure you have a way to connect a bank card to your WeChat or Alipay. So like I said, look at the contrast between this building, which is the old, gives a view of the old Shanghai life as compared to this mega building. Look at this. So we're still walking around the city of Shanghai. Like I said, this is my experience as a black man vlogging my daily life in China, Shanghai. I'm pretty sure this building is going to be over years, hundreds of years. Wow, look at this. Look at this building. Also one of the, I think the ancient old buildings of Shanghai. Old Shanghai. And one thing I love about Shanghai is the fact that people put their laundry outside. You know, they hang their laundries outside. So it gives the vibe of the old life of Shanghai. For some time now, I've been consuming a lot of videos of China. Like many years ago, I go on YouTube and I watch videos of China. like 100 years ago. I've seen videos of Shanghai 100 years ago, and for me also to walk on these same streets that 100 years ago people were walking here in Shanghai, it makes me so happy, and I appreciate China of how far China has been able to develop this country. I've read that China has elevated over 900 million people out of poverty, and for me to walk through the streets that all Shanghai people were working tirelessly to develop this street, to develop this country to this point for me to live here. I mean, I want to say kudos to every soul that worked to develop China to this point. So today I'm giving you a tour of the old Shanghai. Old Shanghai, a lot of electric wires, a lot of old buildings, motorcycles, and yeah, I see that's a halal restaurant, a Muslim restaurant. So if you are a Muslim also who lives in this community, you can also have a halal food. I think it's from Shenzhen. Let's go check it out. Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. So these are Muslim. So if you're a Muslim coming to China, you don't have to worry. There's a lot of Muslim brothers and sisters here that sell halal food, so you don't have to worry. So this is the other side of Shanghai that normally you don't see, but this is also China. This is also China. So it gives you an idea of how far China has come as a country to develop to this point that everybody is talking about. It means how hardworking Chinese people are and how their government has put measures in place to continue to elevate people from poverty. Because go on YouTube right now and check Shanghai 50 years ago, check China 60 years ago, and compare to now China. You will appreciate how far they've come as a country. Modernity meeting the old days. Look at that building and look at these ones here. And I'm pretty sure like 100 years ago, this building was the mega infrastructure in Shanghai. This was maybe the richest people's community. People living here were super rich 150 years ago. But that's life. Life-changing things really improve over time. Another contrast between ancient or old Shanghai versus the new Shanghai. And Shanghai is a mega city. It's very big, but because of the subway system here, the metro system here, it's much easier to get from one place to another. Just that you have to change lines, walk from one distance to the other to connect different metro lines. But in all, it's cheap to be on the subway. I've been here since Tuesday. I can count a few times that I've used a taxi. I'm always on the subway from one point to the other. Sometimes I pay like 3 yuan, depending on the distance that I use. So it's very convenient. It's cheap. Average is cheap. I'm from Ghana, and if I compare the life here in China to what my people tell me back home, I think it's cheaper to live here in China. It's cheaper to live here in China. Ni hao. Ni hao. Yeah, friendly people all the time. Friendly. Let me tell you, Chinese are one of the most friendly people I've encountered in my life. Just like every society, once in a while, you meet bad people who, have their own prejudice. They react towards you based on their ignorance and maybe lack of exposure to other cultures. But generally, Chinese people are very friendly. They are welcoming, and yeah, most are also curious just to say hi to foreigners, get some pictures and all that. But I wouldn't say that my time in this country, if I have to rate my life in China on a scale of 10, I'll give it an 8. 8 because I had a daughter born in this country, I've had a job, I've built a brand for myself, the King Kwesi brand. I'm still putting in work. I've done so many things that maybe I couldn't have done when I was still working as a teacher in Ghana. And the two probably would be the visa policies and the resident permit restrictions that we have in this country. Especially my country, Ghana, is not considered as a native-speaking country. So no matter how good you are, no matter how learned you are, because you're from Ghana, you cannot teach English in China. And most teachers or most foreigners that come to China basically come here to work as teachers. So it's kind of a disadvantage or challenge to me because I'm from Africa. And the only African country that is considered as a native-speaking country is South Africa. So, I mean, my South African brothers and sisters, they're having a great time here, but it's a bit of a challenge for some of us that come from other parts of Africa. So in all, I wouldn't say my life here has been bad. It has been awesome. And I like the experience so far, to be able to immerse myself in a different culture altogether, learn a language, interact with different people from different backgrounds, and be in the position that I find myself to be. I'll forever be grateful to China for the opportunity to live in this country for 10 years. I mean, there has been the highs and the lows, but in all, I would say like, it's been great. Finally, I've been able to walk all the way to the most popular street in China. I don't know whether it's in China, but this is the most popular place right now, the street in Shanghai. This is a pedestrian street, and on this street, if you want to go shopping here, just come on this street. You can have foreign brands and local brands and different types of other stuff that you will need. Just come here and you're going to find it right here on this street called East Nanjing Road. East Nanjing Road. And one thing I like about China is the security. There's always police presence, there's always security presence in this country to make sure that people are safe and there's law and order. You can say whatever you want, but there's a sense of security for foreigners and for other locals that live here and come to China, come to Shanghai, for that matter, for different purposes. Hi, sorry.